Unless you live in Moab, Utah, you'll likely need to drive somewhere for a breathtaking cycling experience. And even if you do live in a picturesque land, it's nice to have a little change of scenery once in a while. This is where a bike rack for your car comes in handy. Before we get started on breaking down the best bike racks on the market today, we've included links in the description to various pricing options for the products mentioned, so make sure you check those out. Starting off with the best overall bike rack, we have the Thule T2 Pro XT2 bike rack. Versatility and simplicity are what set the Thule T2 Pro XT2 bike rack apart from other alternatives. This Thule rack has a frame-free ratcheting arm that quickly secures bikes with wheels from 20 to 29 inches and fat tires up to 5 inches thick. The bike has a tool-free attachment knob that allows it to easily slide onto your hitch. Yet, you do need to have a little muscle or some help to get this product in place, since it weighs 51 pounds. Another popular feature of the T2 Pro XT is the ability to tilt it up or down. If you need to access your hatchback, you just tilt the rack down, or when the rack isn't in use, tilt it up for a compact look. Also, integrated into each mount is a 24-inch cable lock that retracts when the ratcheting arm isn't in use. The Thule T2 Pro XT2 bike rack is the top hitch rack tested by Outdoor Gear Lab. The reviewer gave it high scores for durability, versatility, and ease of everyday use. He noted that this rack is the most reliable piece of gear he's used and was impressed with the one-handle tilt feature. However, he would have liked to see better security features. A reviewer at eTrailer.com also appreciated the tilt feature. In his video review, he shows that bikes remain in place in the rack even when performing evasive maneuvers and driving over potholes, uneven pavement, and speed bumps. About 83% of the people who reviewed the Thule T2 Pro XT2 bike rack on Amazon gave it 4 or 5 stars. Buyers appreciate that the rack is tray style instead of hanging. This allows it to hold a variety of bike types without relying on attachments to the frame. Buyers also liked that there was no cheap plastic parts used in the construction of this product. However, the durable metal makes the rack heavier than other options. There were also several complaints about how confusing the pictorial instructions are. Next up, we have the best roof bike rack, which goes to the Yakima HighRoad Top Car Bike Rack. The Yakima HighRoad Top Car Bike Rack is different from other roof-mounted bike racks because you don't need to remove your bike's front wheel to load it. There are 2 hoops that clamp securely to the front wheel. Once the wheel is secure, you turn the torque knob to keep the bike tight. Then, the rear wheel is held in place with a strap. Installation is also simple. You just attach the back strap and front 2 straps to the crossbar of your car and tighten them down so there's no movement. This model fits bikes with wheels of 26 to 29 inches and tires as thick as 3.25 inches. The wire cutter recommends the Yakima HighRoad because it holds a bike securely without touching the frame, is quick to load, and simple to install. The reviewers noted that in their tests, the 2 front wheel loops that secure the bike kept it steady around curves and over bumps without wobbling. Active Gear Review compared the HighRoad to the Yakima High Speed and preferred the HighRoad because the reviewer didn't need to remove the bike's front tire to put it in the rack. He also liked that it could handle fat tire bikes. 30 of the 35 reviews of the Yakima HighRoad Top Car Bike Rack on Amazon are positive. Many owners of carbon bikes, which have delicate frames, appreciate that this rack doesn't come in contact with the frame. Others have found that it can handle kids' bikes, fat and skinny tires, and heavy full suspension bikes. Several buyers comment that they were able to install the rack in under half an hour, but you may need a stool if you are shorter or have an SUV. Buyers also note that for your security, you need to be sure to buy lock cores, since this model supports cores, but doesn't come with them. Up next, we have the best trunk bike rack, which goes to the Saris Bones 2-bike trunk rack. The Saris Bones 2-bike trunk rack is held in place with 6 straps that attach to your car's trunk using vinyl-coated hooks. At each spot where the rack comes in contact with your car, there are rubberized feet to protect your vehicle's finish. The Bones gets its name because of the strong-as-bones injection-molded arms and legs of the frame that Saris claims is the strongest on the market. Rubber-coated straps protect your bike's frame from scratching and ratchet down for a tight hold. Saris backs the quality of this rack with a lifetime warranty. Bike Radar recommends the Saris Bones 2-bike trunk rack if you need to transport drop bar or hybrid bikes with traditional diamond-shaped frames. The reviewer appreciated the simplicity of the design and that the racks folded up compactly for easy storage when not in use. But he pointed out that the straps were annoying, there aren't any locks, and the rack doesn't work well with modern mountain bikes. The wire cutter recommends the Bones because it can be used on just about any vehicle and is affordable and lightweight. Approximately 79% of the people who reviewed the Saris Bones 2-bike trunk rack gave it a positive rating. The most helpful reviewer wanted a rack that wouldn't scratch his car, and he was happy with how gentle the rack's pads were on his car. He does note that you should keep the top pad at least a few inches away from the back window to keep straps and pedals from hitting your trunk. Other buyers share that installation was easy, but it does take a little practice to get it down without the directions. Next up, we have the best lightweight Hitch bike rack, which goes to the Kuat Rack's Sherpa 2.0 bike rack. For a heavy-duty Hitch bike rack, the Kuat Rack's Sherpa 2.0 bike rack is surprisingly light, at 31 pounds, thanks to its all-aluminum construction. This makes it easy to remove and install. The rack holds onto your bike using a front tire ratchet and rear tire strap, so it doesn't come in contact with your bike's frame. There are 3 color options: pearl, gray metallic, and black metallic. The bike trays are 14 inches apart, so you don't need to adjust the seats to make your bikes fit next to each other. Also, the rack tilts to give you easy access to the back of your vehicle. Outdoor Gear Lab recommends the Kuat Rack's Sherpa 2.0 bike rack because it is easy to remove and store, has a foot pedal tilt mechanism, and is lightweight. But the reviewer found the rack lacked versatility because cyclists can't adjust the tray and it doesn't fit tires over 3 inches wide. This was the Wirecutter's top pick because it held bikes securely by the front wheel in their tests, is easy to load, and installation was effortless. The reviewers did note a couple of flaws. You can't expand this rack to accommodate more than 2 bikes, and there's a 40 pounds per bike weight capacity. Around 81% of the people who reviewed the Kuat Rack's Sherpa 2.0 bike rack on Amazon gave it 5 stars. One buyer compared the Sherpa 2.0 to our top pick, the Thule T2 Pro XT, and he appreciated how much lighter the Sherpa was and how there was a pearl color option to match his Toyota Highlander. He also liked that there was enough space between the bikes to keep them from hitting each other. This was a common positive, noted by several buyers. Other pros are that the rack rides low to make lodging easier and assembly only takes about 15 minutes. Now for our last pick, but by no means the least, we have the best bike rack under $100, which goes to the Allen Sports Premier Trunk-Mounted Bike Rack. Allen Sports sent me the Premier Trunk-Mounted Bike Rack for free to test, and so far, I'm impressed. The initial setup took me about 15 minutes. When driving around, there was zero movement of the bicycle. My only complaint was that it takes a little getting used to installing and removing the rack. Don't expect that you'll be able to do it quickly right off the bat, but once you get the hang of it, it's fast and effortless. This rack holds about 35 pounds per bike. The bikes are held in place with rubber straps that loop onto a little knob. You can use the excess strap lengths to keep your front wheel from moving back and forth and hitting your car. Allen Sports backs this rack with a lifetime warranty. I Love Bicycling recommends the Allen Sports Premier Trunk-Mounted Bike Rack because the straps are strong, durable, and adjustable to fit several types of vehicles. The reviewer also liked that the rack folds up compactly and it can hold a wide range of bikes, including kids' bikes. The biggest drawback was the metal clips at the end of the straps are not coated in vinyl, rubber, or any other protective coating to keep it from scratching your vehicle. More than 500 Amazon buyers give the Allen Sports Premier Trunk-Mounted Bike Rack a rating of 4 or 5 stars. The most helpful reviewer used this rack to transport bicycles from New York to South Florida. She didn't have any issues, though she did need to tighten the straps about halfway through the trip. To prevent scratching, she covered the clips with the fingertips of rubber gloves and secured them with rubber bands. Several other buyers use this rack for long road trips, and the common experience is that the straps will need to be checked and adjusted every couple hundred miles. So that sums up the best bike racks of 2019. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have a great day.